What up, Bronco Country? We got a great show for you for you today. We got a training camp reaction. We got Bo Nix. We got Sean Payton. And if it ain't about the Broncos, buck 'em.
Okay, let's go.
Boy, do we got a show for you today, man. I'm your host today, Michael. I'm with the $1 million man, Fanatic. How's it going?
Good, my bro. How about you?
Great, great, great. And we also got the Ayatollah of the Bunker Broncos. Um, Jazz, how's it going?
Everything is going good. Just excited about everything. Training camp. I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, and we got Mr. CEO himself in the building, Kenley. How pumped are you about today?
Super pumped. We got the Bo Nix news, contract extension talks, and Sean Payton on the podium. Let's go.
All right, let's start there with you, Kenley. The Sean Payton interview, man. What'd you get from it?
I thought Sean, he really was surprised by how well his team was conditioned. And Sean kind of, hyped down a little bit of, like where this team could go because as us as fans are saying, like, playoffs, take that next step. There's all this hype around us and stuff like that. So Sean Payton did the right thing by, keeping us grounded. You got to keep those players grounded. Just the news that he broke out today about, Bo Nix being with Drew Brees today and Tom House, working with Tom House. And I think that's what you want out of your quarterback. That's what should happen. Like the fact that Bo Nix wants to be better, wants to learn and pick into this offense. That's what you're looking for out of your quarterback. So that's one of the main takeaways I got from that. But I'll let you guys say what y'all got to say because I could go on forever.
Right, Fanatic, what'd you get from it?
Man, Sean Payton today seemed like he was in a good mood, gave a lot of good information today while at his press conference. Kinley touched on the Drew Brees, Bo Nix visiting Drew Brees for about 4 to 5 days, going over to Drew Brees. And what a great resource to have in your back pocket to be able to, go to a quarterback that has produced in Sean Payton's offense at a high level, you guys. That is phenomenal. I'm glad that Bo Nix took the time to really pick a Hall of Famer's brain of what it takes to play at a high level in the quarterback position in this offense.
Right. Jazz, what do you think about the interview? The Sean's post conference.
Yeah. I think Sean Payton is a funny guy. I think he's just like no nonsense. He's kind of dry, but I enjoy listening to him. I think that to y'all's point, he gave a lot of good information out there. I loved how he talked about like Dre Greenlaw and how he's as advertised and he's really excited. I like how he touched on Zach Allen and how he's really important to, what we're doing on the team. Talked about like snaps, which is, taking too many snaps, which was one of my concerns last season. So I was really happy that he talked about that as well. And as you already talked about, just both visiting Drew and just picking his brain, trying to learn more. And just quick thought about that. It reminded me of remember when Russell Wilson took that picture with Peyton Manning and went like super viral and everyone was all stoked. I just appreciated how it was kind of like on the low. Bo didn't, he didn't blast it. No one knew about it until it was spoken about. And I just really appreciate that because to me, what that means is Bo is really taking this seriously. He's not here for the glamour and trying to be all cool, whatever. He's really just head down, trying to understand, wants to know more from Drew. How can he improve? What is Sean like? How do I, do this and that? So I just appreciated Sean like sharing that with us and more appreciated Bo not making it a thing.
Yep, and a few tidbits. One thing he did mention, Kinley, they did go into the contract talk. What'd you get from it about them saying that stuff?
Well, I'm so glad because that's what all the fans have been waiting for, begging for, asking for. Will we sign Cortland Sutton? Will we extend Cortland Sutton? Will we extend Zach Allen? Will we extend Nick Bonito? Because Nick Bonito's price is it's continuing to go up and up and up, and
Mhm.
we feel like we need to get it done sooner rather than later. So the fact that Sean Payton pointed out, like, he didn't need to get to another question. Somebody asked a question about the contract, and he named all three. He named Cortland Sutton, Zach Allen, and Nick Bonito, and saying it's in the works and it's going to get done. So that's a positive. You want that. You want to hear that type of stuff. And now that you finally signed Jade and RJ, we kind of felt like these talks were going to progress a little bit faster than normal. And not to mention, I saw a couple of posts on Twitter talk about, Cortland Sutton didn't participate in 7-7 or team drills, but people are saying, oh, it's due because of the contract. But you fail to realize that in Sean Payton's press conference, he clearly said that some of these vets will be managed. And they're going to have days where they're resting. They're not going to be dressing up and practicing, and which is rightfully deserved. So you want to just bring them along. Load management, nothing's wrong with that at all. I think that's a great idea, and especially with some of the players that's coming off an injury, load management is probably the best way to go. And then as the season gets closer, you start to ramp them up a little bit more. So I love it. I love it.
Yeah, Jazz. And speaking of that, we got to give you props for that. You definitely said some of these guys were playing a little bit more than they should last season. Sean Payton mentioned that. How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, I just felt like exactly. I love like how even now, to Kinley's point, just allowing like the vets or those who are coming off an injury just to kind of slowly get into it. It's just like with anything we do, there burnout is real. And sometimes if you push too hard in the beginning, it can be detrimental to the end. So I'm glad that it's something he knew about it, right? But I think last season he did what he had to do. It's just like one of those things where like, hey, if the depth isn't great, or if there's a game that I really need this guy to play a little bit more. Sometimes you're just put in those situations, but I'm glad that it's being talked about more, and I'm hoping that he finds a way to give those key players more breaks and allows them to kind of just the backups or whoever is going to play behind these guys, give them more opportunities to play as well.
Yeah, man. And I mean, Bo Nix to San Diego, right, to go see Breeze out there. Probably wouldn't surprise anybody, but Fanatic, when you first kind of heard that, what was going through your mind?
Like Jazz alluded to, like Bo is taking this seriously. He knows he has the keys to this franchise, and let's put in the work. Let's see what we can do to elevate this team to get to that promised land where Broncos country, for many years during the Peyton Manning seasons, was the pinnacle of winning the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 50. It's Super Bowl 60 this year, ladies and gentlemen. But could we be there? Anyways, with that being said, it doesn't really matter because Bo Nix is taking the work, taking the time, doing what he needs to do to make sure that he does what he needs, his part, making sure that this is a winning franchise this season. I commend the guy. Well done. Mile high salute to him. And going back real quick, if I may, to the contract extensions, one name that wasn't mentioned that kind of raised eyebrows for me was John Franklin Myers. Okay. Now, are they getting stuff situated there? That's a question that's kind of maybe amongst Broncos country right now for the time being. But ultimately, we've talked before on the pod. I mean, yes, I know we would like to have Cortland Sutton, Nick Bonito, Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers. And for me, I would love this front seven to be intact. Keep your strength together, ladies and gentlemen. But I think it would be nice to have everyone under one roof, one big happy family, contracts extended, but there always has to be that one maybe that doesn't. But we know what George Payton has done in the past. Constantly, he's shown to trust in his guys and paying them, taking care of his homegrown guys. One player, Nick Bonito's one, Jonathan Cooper was one that he just gave an extension to. Quinn Miners, Patrick Surtain, he takes care of his own, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you want before you go and get outside talent.
So another thing that I would say, I don't want to use the word bothered me. I coach football. Everybody has coached something here. Sean Payton, he heard a lot. He heard, I think it's loud and clear that these Bronco players are confident this year.
Mhm.
They got an expectation for them. Now, depending on your team, I'm more of a Jimmy Johnson guy. I like my guys to be rah rah, excited, like, um, I don't want to use the word borderline disrespectful, but I like them to acknowledge that, man, we're on the field and we are who we are.
We're on a
Um,
mission.
we're on a mission, right? I feel Sean Payton is the latter, though, and sometimes when you have great teams, you should hold them a little bit more accountable, just to push them to their limit. I'll start with you, Fanatic. How would you manage this team? Are you going to be hardcore with them? Or are you going to tell them, express yourself,
I think it would be finding a true balance within this team. If I'm being honest, let them be themselves, but in the same breath, don't let them get out of control. You've already established a good culture within this organization. You've already weeded out some of those, because you want to build your brand, your culture, making tough decisions, that maybe you didn't feel that was going to be a part of this organization moving forward, making the tough decisions, cutting a Justin Simmons, even though we know what he meant to this franchise. Shout out to him. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's all about finding balance within this roster, because you don't want to rub players either the wrong way. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with this.
Yeah, I see McGlinchey. He kind of took the mellow route too, which was first got to me as a line. I'm like Alex Gibbs. I need that intensity. Jazz, tell me how you would manage this team.
Yeah, I need them to express that confidence as well. I sometimes, when they're doing their interviews and stuff, and they're all modest, I'm like, ugh, that makes me a little bit unsure of like how they're coming, right? But I understand in the beginning of the season, kind of like putting your head down, putting in the work. But I will say, as the season goes on, and they are like, let's say we start off 3-0, 4-0, or something of that nature. I need them to that confidence to show a little bit more, because they've been torn down left and right, and I just feel that this is the second season where a lot of people's foot is in their mouths about this team and how they were going to be. So I want to see a little bit more attitude and confidence behind it, but I do understand what Fanatic means about just having that balance, because sometimes when you have too much confidence, it comes back to bite you, right? Where it's like, hey, you see, you were doing all this talking, and now you guys are, you've only won a couple of games, right? And so yeah, a good balance, but just crank it up a little bit more.
I definitely enjoy when they're doing the walking. That's when I'm like, you do that talking. I love it.
Yeah.
Kinley, you played a lot of winning football. You probably maybe played on some losing football. How would you manage this team?
Let them express themselves. And I'm gonna tell you one: when you bring in someone that like a Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, who play with their hair on fire, like it, you gotta let them express themselves. Let them. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years since we. I want to go out there and hit somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't care. You see, you hear about Bo Nix playing with that chip, playing with that swag. You know what I'm saying? Let them express themselves. Forget all this mellow type of stuff. Let's go get it. Because you know what? We've been waiting too long. It's been too long. It's been way
the dark times are over.
I do miss the
dark times over.
I do miss having that.
Look, it's time for us to say we back, baby, and we coming. Because now
I do miss having a dog on our team.
National media is just like, oh, the Broncos are the dark horse. The Broncos are the sleeper. Last year, y'all was trashing us for drafting Bo Nix. The year before that, you was trashing us for what we did to Russell. Well, go ahead. Go. We coming.
Yeah.
We back and we coming.
Yeah,
I like
that.
Have it on your mind. Have it on your mind. All right.
I like that. And I like that also that we had, Aqib Talib, we managed those personalities pretty well. I think Sean Payton's capable of doing just that as well,
It is usually those ones from Texas that give us a problem, though. So.
Yeah.
You want the dogs. You want the dogs on your team, man. You
do. Yeah. Like Jake Greenlaw is a dog, man. Hufanga, they're vocal leaders. That's what we need on this defense, But we know how.
Which I want to say, reports came out today that Dre Greenlaw did look pretty good.
Yeah.
So
as advertised.
Look nice as advertised. According to reports, as advertised.
And I'll say, like, when you come with that type of energy, it just bleeds off into the rest of the team. You know what I mean? And sometimes when you're talking like that and you're like super confident, that locker room is on fire. Even those who may not be as confident, it just kind of like makes them feel like, yeah, you know what, we can do this. And when you go into things with a can do attitude, it usually works out. So I like that, Kinley. Like, let's hype it up a
Well,
little bit.
Michael brought up what Mike McGlinchey said. Just the fact that Mike McGlinchey said yesterday, when he steps on that field, you
I love it.
feel his presence.
Mhm.
Like you don't get that from somebody who's just mellow or who's just like downplaying everything. Nah, that's you. When you get on that field, you know you're going up against a warrior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so the fact that Mike McGlinchey can say that about his former teammates, which he should, they had a lot of success. Like, you know, let them. I understand Sean want to pull them back a little bit, but let the dogs eat, man. Get them off the field. Let the dogs eat.
And it's nice because Hufanga and Greenlaw have been to the top. Did they win? Unfortunately, no. But they know what it takes to get there. Now let's finish the job, and I think they'll do that with the Denver Broncos, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, hey, listen, there's nothing, I got to speak on my offensive lineman. There is nothing more worse than having the darling QB behind you and you giving up a sack because everybody's going to hate you. You would practice harder because you're like, I got to make sure nobody touches him because they will be looking for me.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Andrew Mason, because I was looking at some of his tweets. Y'all go follow him at Mace Denver. He was saying how today, like 7-on-7, the ball didn't touch the ground. So I think that's a big deal, for Bo. But then he said, according to the team, like, the defense kind of got a little bit of the offense there. But that's just great because, like we said, it's a battle. Every day is going to be a battle. Even though it was light today and it wasn't much, if you hear one side of the ball that's winning constantly and constantly and constantly, okay, now I'm kind of worried about that other side of the ball. So
yeah, it kind of makes you think like they're not trying the defense as much, or you know what I mean?
Exactly. So like, this is just like a heads up for everyone who's tuning in right now or watching or is going to watch this. Like when it comes to training camp, if you hear, like, oh, the offense didn't have a good day or the defense didn't have a good, it's okay. It's going to happen.
It'll be okay.
Iron sharpens iron. Remember that. It's going to happen. And if Bo is killing it every day, VJ, what you doing, dog?
Right. Yeah, questioning the defense for sure.
Right.
So, speaking of Bo Nix, real quick, we've seen what Bo Nix is doing this offseason. He met with Drew Brees. He met with the throwing coach. Can you tell us what that says about our QB making those moves?
He won a chip. He not everybody talking about win the playoff game. Bo Nix won a Super Bowl. Bo Nix wants a Super Bowl. And you know what?
Right.
God bless Bo Nix because I wanted to. Okay, that says a lot. That says a lot about, like I said that earlier, that says a lot about your quarterback. He wants to win. Bo having Peyton Manning come into practices, reaching out and having Drew Brees, and you have two Hall of Fame quarterbacks in your corner. If you wouldn't look and go search for these guys to get better, that'd be a problem. That would be a problem because why not? You have him there, but the fact that he's going out there doing that shows you Bo Nix, he's coming. He's coming. He is coming. Okay. Clip it, quote it. Bo Nix gonna eat this season. I'm telling you.
What about you, man? When you're just sitting back and hearing the news, like, oh man, this guy's still working hard. He's still trying to get better. How did that make you feel? Like,
it just says a lot about our quarterback's character, and it says it's all in the details, the little things, whether the preparation for the X's and O's, scheming against defenses, taking care of your arm, taking care of your body the right way. He's doing hitting all his resources to make sure that he's good to go for a 17-game season. That is brutal, ladies and gentlemen. It's not always guaranteed with injuries and this and that, but he's making sure that he does his part. So that's where I get from that one. I know Tom House is a baseball coach too as well. They mentioned, Sean Payton mentioned in this press conference.
He's a Major League Baseball player. He's a former MLB player.
So. Yeah, so there we go.
And don't worry about the throwing motion being changed. Like none of that.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just all about the arm care, taking care of your body.
Jazz, how did you feel when you heard Bo Nix dragged his teammates out to Idaho? I wouldn't have been that happy, but I guess he would have wanted us to focus. Like, what? Go ahead and speak on that part.
Yeah, as a quarterback, you're the leader, right? And so you have to do certain things to make sure that you're connecting with your offense. You have to make sure that you're kind of going through, what you like, what you don't like, what your receivers like, what kind of looks, you're going for and things of that nature. So him dragging them all, out to Idaho, I think it's good. They need to bond. They need to, do more things together so that they have like that connectivity, right? We need to see them kind of just be one, if you will. And I think a lot of like in the beginning of the last season, we saw like a lot of like looks where it wasn't like really fluid. I think we don't see a lot of that happening again this season because, of course, a lot of our team has come back, a lot of our players. And yeah, we'll see a lot of like a little bit more them being fluid and them being in sync. So yeah, I like it. I think Bo is doing a really good job. And I just love how Bo is, heads down, but also he's very confident too, guys, because if you remember some like other games last season when he would like burn a defender, he would, he's quick, he'll point at them or, he'll kind of look at them or look back at them and stuff like that. So Bo, I think, is leading this team. I think everyone respects him. He has to be the hardest working guy in the room, period. And I think he's proving that. And I think it's bleeding off onto the rest of the team.
And Bo's a dog himself, the way he just, that one guy, that Raider player that got in his face, I ain't scared of
and
nothing.
Blew up on him, yeah.
Yeah, like that's the kind of competitive edge that I want as a damn quarterback. Excuse my language, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want from a quarterback.
I am glad that you brought up receivers gelling too, though. Like Dak, you're right. That's what I want out of a quarterback too. Like we want that. But I'm glad you brought up receivers because you know which receiver to me just looked the smoothest today out there. I think you guys know what I'm about to say and who I'm about to say. But I'll say it. I'll say it. Pat Bryant looks like being a receiver is just as easy as breathing to him. And I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like this guy is smooth, hips, feet, everything. Catching it looks easy. Okay, and Marvin Mims, of course, look good out there today too. And Troy Franklin and all that. It's pretty much day one of field work, so you can't really go that much into detail, but you can just tell the way that Pat Bryant runs and does his routes and cuts and jumps in the air, snatches the ball. It just looks easy to him. It looks very easy, and I can't wait. I'm still gonna call it. I still think Pat Bryant could be wide receiver 2 at the beginning of the season. That's just I'm standing on that.
And for me, honestly, me and you we talked earlier, Kinley, you and myself. I kind of look at this Broncos wide receiver group kind of like a starting 5 in the NBA. You keep 5, but you add one for maybe depth purposes. Yeah. But you got Cortland Sutton, your wide receiver 1, but the rest of the depth chart, all those guys are gonna, because Sean Payton likes to change up personnel, packages, subbing out, this and that. But I know Pat Bryant's gonna play a major role. Devon Bailey is gonna play a major role. Marvin Mims is going to play a major role. And we know, like I said, Sutton will have his role. It just it's going to be interesting of how he feeds mouths to feed. And we just added Evan Ingram to the tight end room. So that's another mouth to feed. Bo Nix likes to spread the ball around. So that'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting.
I agree. Way to hit the nail on the head right there.
And my boy Troy Franklin, that Oregon connection is looking good.
I'll be surprised if Troy Franklin starts looking at freaking Larry Fitzgerald. He's just going to be wide open all the
time. I'm getting chills, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God.
Sean Payton also touched on like the running backs today, getting J.K. Dobbins in there. And he was glad that he got J.K. in there, to learn that offense. And to get situated and stuff like that. But just watching some of the clips today on Twitter, man, there's a big difference from JK and RJ. I'll tell you that much, because RJ looks like he is gliding out there, and he is so quick, so like Fanatic said, so agile, so swift. It just looks so easy to him. And man, just seeing all that, it gets you going, because it's like you have hopes for this offense and this run game being back, and it's only going to elevate Bo better. So I just wanted to point that out there from that field
great
work.
1-2 punch, though. Great
one. Yeah, great. And he mentioned that, it's going to be. Andrew Mason mentioned that too. Like JK and RJ, it's going to be a 1-2 punch. So in which we all saw that coming. We all saw it coming.
Yeah, I'm more excited about who's competing for that third spot, right? Between McNaughton and Estime. That's when we know it's going to be Harvey and Dobbins, right? That Thunder and Lightning duo. But who is going to be that next guy? Is there going to be them both, right? So that's something that I'm interested to see, like, how training camp goes.
Yeah.
How, is Estime. I mean, you got to bring it, man. If you don't bring it, I
What
don't know what's
about
going to be next season.
Blake
I don't know.
Watson?
Yes,
You can't
Blake
sleep on him.
Watson.
Unlike
Well,
Is it
we've
Maddie
been sleeping
too?
on him. Say that
Mm-hmm.
again.
Uh,
Oh,
Maddie as well.
oh yeah, Bidet, yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
another one.
people like him.
Yeah.
People still like
Mm-hmm.
him. So, but I mean, they have a hill to climb. You know, they really
Yeah.
have a hill to climb because it just depends on how many running backs we keep. Honestly, no one knows.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be JK and RJ. Like
Sure.
if that third running back gets the ball, it's probably late in the game and we're up by 20, 25. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see, like Sean Payton said last year, it's easy to scheme for one or two. It's hard to scheme for three.
True.
It's hard. It's hard.
McLaughlin's going to play. That's Sean's guy. So
Yeah, but it's just like you bring
he's
him
going
in
to
the
find a
game.
way to. He's going to find a way to add
You
him
bring
into
him in
that.
the game. You bring him in the game. You're tipping your hand that you're going to give him the ball.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's absolutely.
That's
right.
the only downside.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to make it a bigger mess because I'm going to go to the rumor report, right? Of course, there's going to be anybody on Twitter saying this stuff. So we got to take it with a grain of salt. But here in McLaurin, possible location for Denver. How would you feel if Denver made that move?
I don't see it happening to even
I
give.
don't see it happening either. No,
I don't see it happening to even give. I wouldn't get my hopes up. And I'm just nah. I don't see it happening. I mean, we haven't even paid Cortland Sutton yet. We can't even think of a contract for him. And Terry over here want to break the bank. We got the leader over here that want to break the bank. We got Allen that won over 25 million.
Yeah, we ain't got it.
Look. We don't need scary Terry problems right now.
When it's all said and done, we do have Walmart money, so I don't think money is an issue.
Well, once we're done with
let's eliminate that as a problem.
Yeah, once we're done with Russ's contract, I think we'll have a little bit more money to spread around. I think we're still eating, I think 32 million in dead cap right now. But once next season, I do think that we can add like another receiver like a Terry. Yeah, I don't see that happening. To Kinley's point, we haven't even paid the guys that we need to pay. So
we take care of that front seven?
Here's another thing, Jazz. Who's at camp and who's not?
Yeah.
Who got the same problem? They both had the same problem, but you see Cortland putting in that work, right?
I
don't want a receiver. I don't
like that diva.
I don't want a receiver like that. We trying to build something over here. We're trying to get over that hump. Cortland ain't got paid yet, but yet he's still at camp. He's still going through drills. McLaurin wants a new contract. Where he at? At home.
Yeah.
And at this point, sorry guys. At this point, like, do you want to disrupt that rapport that Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix have already established?
No.
For me, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. And I totally agree with you. We don't need that type of attitude. We don't need someone on this team who's just going to make it all about them. Cortland is a very much so a team guy, and we need that in a locker room. And then I just quickly want to point out something, because I know we were talking about contract extensions, and Sean didn't mention Franklin Myers. Yeah. And I don't know, he was doing some tweeting as well. He's starting to concern me with that type of attitude as well, where he's, kind of like putting it out there like, hey, if I don't get my contract, I'm out. So I'm starting to see a little bit of churn from him. And it's kind of making me not really like how he's moving. So to that, again, just to reiterate, I don't think we need McLaurin on his team. And he just doesn't need to infect the locker room with that type of attitude.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
Sure can.
What do you think Cortland Sutton ends up with? Just ballpark.
Contract wise?
Yeah, just contract wise.
Somewhere north of $23 million a year.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think if it's that, just do it. Just if he wants 24, 25, just do it.
Over how many years, Kinley? What you thinking?
I would say 3 years. He's gonna be 30 by the end of October.
Yeah,
I believe. And so like you got that. You it would kind of be like you'd have him for this year, almost like a 4-year deal if you extend them 3 years. But you can get out of that. You can get out of that contract that last year or that
Yeah.
So yeah. So I think that would be the best move for him. He gets that big contract. He gets that bigger contract, and hey, if he hits, On all those years, he hits.
I would like to see John Franklin Myers back. Say if he did like a
Man.
contract, like 3 years, 45 million, kind of like Zach Allen got his first contract with Denver. That would be something that I would be into, but we'll find out. But that's kind of what I was kind of gauging towards if we did extend him contract around that.
Just the fact that Sean brought it up.
I'm 100% against all you guys when it comes to McLaurin. The whole thing of him being upset is he's not getting paid. We can take care of that. The money's available. It would be a huge upgrade over the receivers we have. And this is our time. Like the door of opportunity is now. He's not being a diva because the ball's not going to him or anything like that. Him and Cortland would be the top red zone combo.
Michael, can I ask you a question though?
So I just don't see why it's a bad move. We're basing off these receivers off their potential and what we're seeing them run against nobody.
Yeah.
So
can I ask you a question though, Michael?
You can.
So would you be willing to give up Cortland Sutton in a deal? Because I think that's kind of what would happen have to be as an asset in that trade. Is that because I know you love Cortland Sutton? I know what he is, near and dear to your heart. Is that something that
I don't think he would be involved in the deal. I think they would go for one of our younger receivers like Franklin or something like that. You
think so?
Because their whole gist of not paying them is because the age, and they're the same age. So how are they going to take one problem away and grab the same problem?
You don't think they're going to want someone that could be a security blanket for Jay Daniels?
Yeah, because of the situation, the contract situation, they don't want to pay. That's where they're at.
I don't see it.
Sure if they give Cortland anything north of $23 million, he's going to take it. Terry wants to break the bank. He wants more.
What, 30 plus? Did he want 30 plus?
That's what I'm saying. He wants more.
Like, are you kind of got like?
Well, the problem, and that's what I'm saying. We have more. He's going to get extended, so that money won't hit till next year, when the Russ money all falls off.
How much of an upgrade for giving away assets is Terry McLaurin over Sutton? I know, I get it.
Well, what do you value Troy Franklin at or Mims? Do you value them more than McLaurin?
Hey,
we got to be honest. We got to be honest.
It's a no for me.
I would if it was including them in the deal.
Trade discussion.
If it was
a rumor
in the deal,
we were going to go
but it was. But another thing we got to look at, you guys, is learning Sean Payton's offense. How difficult that is.
It ain't easy.
It
ain't easy.
Yeah.
So why are we gonna mess that up and try to go and train somebody to do such if we have already established all that? And just in my opinion,
you're telling me running streaks and slants ain't easy, I don't know what is then.
I don't know. I don't see us getting him.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but okay.
I just don't see us getting him without something in return, and I think it would have to be Cortland.
I get it. I mean,
so
does it likely happen? No, it's like a 99%.
Sutton's a better run blocker than McLaurin, though, too.
You know what I mean? But to not pretend that it'd be gambling not to get a veteran or anything like that. We are rolling the dice.
Y'all know me. I've been saying this about our receiving core. I wish we did have another guy. So.
Yeah, if none of these guys step up like we're imagining right now.
Hey, what's
up, David?
Fox Broncos stopping in.
Thank
you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm just running through comments. Love the energy of this Broncos talk. Thank you. We appreciate you, Iris Taylor, coming in and showing us some love and dropping some comments.
Sure do.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
I was eating a peanut Victoria. That's why I jumped off the screen. But you know,
it's so funny. So, anyways, this was a good conversation. But I'm like,
just a rumor report. You know, obviously, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm with Kenny. Yeah. Like, I'm sure it's not. You know, it's just some Twitter guy saying stuff that, all right, whatever. You want to retweet that.
I always wanted to be that
clickbait.
It just brings my situation that we are banking on these guys getting better, and if they don't, like,
that's the only thing I hate.
Hey, it's only day one. James Merrillat. That's what you're acting like right now. That's what you acting like with that crazy
James-
tweet, some 9 and 8. Just sit down.
James is so wild, man. You know what,
Dude,
James?
we ain't even gonna talk about that. But anyway, anyway.
Just real quick, Kinley, I will say I keep forgetting about Evan Ingram. That does make it a tad bit better because he's just like another playmaker. So we don't have another star receiver, and we're crossing our fingers that one of the younger guys will step up and have a breakout season. But with Evan Ingram, playing, there, I do think that it will be not as.
And I really think
Ingram,
Franklin. I think it's Troy Franklin who's going to have a breakout season.
nice.
I really do.
I think it
Look
could
good.
be.
He looked good out there today. He looked good. I mean, we'll see more as they ramp it up more. Today was just a light day. Just reacting to how the guys looked out there, and they all looked like they were in good shape. They're out there running smooth. Everybody looked great, according to reports. I don't know what James Murray at, so I guess he needs some glasses. But
can I ask you guys another question? We're talking about the offense. Sean Payton, kind of in his press conference, of course, talked about the studying other offenses that were successful.
The all-22.
Was Sean McVay one of those guys? That's one of his guys. What do you guys think? What other coach was it that you would have studied?
Sean's not gonna let nothing leak out of there. He doesn't let the
faucet
leak. He don't even let the faucet leak, so he ain't leaking out none of the information. Okay,
but it's fun to just think,
and his ego too.
Sean McVay are like that. So I mean, if he went to Sean McVay, and talked about how he can critique his offense and stuff like that, and not be
the guy that
old school coach, I love it because sometimes you are stuck in your ways, Sean. You are. You're stuck in the past. You gotta. And I'm glad Sean did that because you have a young quarterback who is go. Like let's do this. Like you gotta try some different things. You can't expect the old school stuff to continue to work. If you want success, you gotta always teach a dog new tricks.
Yeah.
Do you think that's feedback that Bo gave to Sean? Do you think that was feedback that Bo gave to Sean? Like, hey,
it might have been
because Bo did the same thing. He went to speak to Drew and Tom House, right? Did that either rub off on Sean, or did Bo just say, what, coach, like, remember he got onto him in that one game. I really need you to step it up too. We're all learning. We're all having to, kind of.
That speaks a lot to Sean Payton's character as well, like willingness to step out of his comfort zone and learn, and learn more knowledge and gain figure out what he can do to improve his offense, right? Yeah. Like he's doing his part too to win, not just Bo Nix as a quarterback, but a head coach taking that step to doing that too. These guys want it bad.
No, somebody must have told him that even Michael watches the all-22 coach. Like, you got to get in there. But if he did, if there was one coach, I would want him to watch the all-22 would be Ben Johnson.
And I think
the creativity of the Detroit Lions these past 2 years have been something else.
Yes,
should be studied. He is just, for me, he is it as it comes to the current offensive coordinators. And that includes McVay and Shanahan.
And now Ben Johnson went and got a head coaching job at Chicago now, because that says a lot about his offense.
Yeah,
he's just very creative. I'm hoping Sean watch some of his all-22 because that's what I would be impressed over.
Yeah, that's a good point, Michael. I like that. As a coach in mind.
That's because you want that Montgomery and Gibbs backfield duo.
Yeah.
Michael, I know what you want.
Hey, and you guys don't?
I do.
Yeah.
Making sure they're not
Lightning and Thunder. Let me hear you thunder roll with the running backs.
Fanatic, your final thoughts.
Man, I'm just excited that training camp is here. Ladies and gentlemen, the quarterback carousel is no longer. We have a franchise quarterback. There's no damn quarterback competition. It feels so damn good to say
that. Jazz, your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with Fanatic on this one. I think it's been since, was it 2014 or 2016? I can't remember, where we had like the same, quarterback coach duo. And so I'm super glad that, like, this is year 2 for Bo, and I'm just excited to see this team grow. I'm excited for this defense. I think we're going to be so elite. on defense. So yeah, I can't wait until training camp day 2 and having more to speak about next time.
Yeah.
Kinley, take us home.
Man, I think we forgot about the biggest thing. There's no punter competition this year.
Yeah,
Our rookie punter
he's
can
killing
boom
it. He's
He can
killing it.
boom it, but he got to be like Sean said. He got to be more consistent.
You gave me a minor heart attack. I was like, what did I forget? Like, oh man, I'm slipping.
Yeah. Like Sean said today in his presser, he can boom it, man. He's got to be more consistent. But no, I just wanted to touch up on that, get that going before we head out. But we appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Subscribe to our channel. We're trying to grow. I believe we're 46 subs away from 200. So help us get there, you guys. We really appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow with more reactions and more to talk about for training camp. And remember, everybody, if it ain't about the Broncos,
buck 'em.
Peace.